Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So today I'm gonna do a Q&A because I haven't in the longest time, and there has been a bunch of questions and some have been repetitive, so those are the ones that I really want to address today. So before we begin, I just want to say something, and that is that it's absolutely necessary to follow the instructions. Just like with any other, profession, if you were to go to the hairstylist or I don't know, to the doctor or to the dentist, wherever, orthodontist, so many, possibilities. You go to a professional, you get a service done, and then they tell you about the aftercare. And if you follow the aftercare, their work is perfect. If you don't follow the aftercare, obviously you can create some problems. So keep that in mind. It's the same with magic, it's no different. So you absolutely need to follow the instructions. If you don't follow the instructions, if you do the opposite of the instructions, if you don't try to change your energy, if you stay at that needy place, guess what? Your spell is not going to work. So make sure you're doing everything you possibly can to get the best possible results. Because remember, what magic is, it's energy work. We are all energies. That is proven by science, and we definitely can get you what you want, unless there's a bigger reason not to. But in the majority of the cases, yes, it's possible if you follow the instructions. So thank you guys. Please follow the instructions. So let's get into the questions. I'm going to answer as much as I can. So I have a few written down here. So there have been a couple of questions about cord cutting spells. So guys, I do not perform cord cutting spells. Those are not in my practice, and I'm going to explain to you why. So I only provide services that I know can be beneficial, that I know for sure work, that will work for majority of the people. I only provide also spells that are not harming anyone in any way, and just some of my my own morals are at stake. So with the cord cutting spell, the reason why it's not on my list of the services I provide is because it does not work in majority of the cases, and I do not want to be selling something that will be useless for majority of the people and will be just wasting their money. Now I'm going to explain why. So basically, people who want to get a cord cutting spell are people who really want to move on from the ex, and they want to cut that energy bond that is, just kind of preventing them to maybe move on and stuff. And one client asked me if they can do this for detachment. So while he still wants his ex to come back, the answer is no. We don't want to be like cutting potentially the energy bond. Like I said, it will most likely do nothing, but we don't want to risk it. We don't want to cut that bond. We need that bond if we're getting back with someone. For other people, I'm going to explain why it doesn't work. So as you guys know, when you connect with somebody, you will create an energy bond. An energy bond is created through, love, but it's also created through passion, sexual relationships, friendships. Just like when you connect with somebody, it can also be online. You don't even have to see the person. Like you connect with somebody romantically online, that bond will be created. So basically, when your energies connect, that's how you get the energy bond, right? So with energy bonds, the way they kind of get they get weaker over time. So this is why if it's been like 5 years since the breakup, the chances of you getting back together with your ex will be quite slim, because the energy bond will be very weak by that point. Because as you know, energy needs to be fed in some way. And if this person has truly moved on, the energy bond will be weak. It's been a while, they haven't really been thinking about you. That's basically what feeds energy. It's not just if you are in contact, it's also if they still have feelings, if they still think about you, if they still miss you. So this is why it is important when, somebody does spell work, that it should be as soon as possible after the breakup, or like within a year and a half, something like that, where, energy bond is still relatively, there, relatively strong. But the sooner the better, because, energy bonds, they get weaker over time. And yes, some energy bonds are never, are always there, basically, and don't really get weaker. And I can't know that when you contact me, because it is going to depend on how this person is feeling about you. This is why we do tarot readings, right? Just to check up on a person if it's been a long time and you have absolutely no idea what's going on with that person. So energy bonds, they also have nothing to do with the fact that maybe your ex is now married or is with somebody else or whatever. Because, as you know, people can be with somebody and still have feelings for the previous person. Everything is possible. All sorts of combinations are possible. And we cannot generalize here because everybody is different, obviously. And every situation is different. So keep all of this in mind. So this is a little bit about energy bonds. Now, when we want to cut them forcefully with a spell, it will usually not work. Why? Because it's forceful. So they are not getting weaker over time. We are forcefully trying to cut them. And that is not how it works. It's kind of like, imagine, because remember, spell work is just energy work. So imagine if you were trying to forget somebody and you're really forcing yourself to forget that person. Is that going to work? Absolutely not. Same thing with a spell. So it can work sometimes if you are truly, truly ready to leave this person behind. You have done a lot of work, a lot of, detaching, a lot of moving on. Those are the chances where it can work. But usually the people who will ask for these spells will be people that will be obsessed and they want to stop being obsessed. And that's not going to work. So this is why I do not do cord cutting spells. And I know that a lot of people practice them. I know that it's a very popular spell, but this is the reality of it. And yeah, I do not perform them. It is what it is. Okay. Second question. Let me just read it. Give me a sec. Okay, so second question was about internal blocks. Is there a spell for that? Does blockage removal remove internal blocks? Yes, blockage removal can remove both external and internal blocks in any kind of situation that you need it for. Doesn't have to be romantic. As you know, it works for a bunch of things. However, if you are the one with the internal blocks, then in that case, if there is no second person where we need to remove the blocks, or if there is no second person where we need to remove blocks between the two of you. So if you're getting a new job spell or something like that, and you don't think you can get a new job, you don't think you're good enough, you don't think you're chosen, that is where we will not use a spell. We will just use one spell, and we're going to use an audio, a reprogramming audio, to reprogram your internal blocks. So if it's for you, then we are using just the audio. The reason why is because it's free. So you don't have to pay for an extra spell. And and if it's for another person, then obviously we have to use a spell. Or if it's for a situation between, two people, then we use the blockage removal spell. Okay, then third question, is I was just thinking of an idea for a video, how to deal with a low motivation and low productivity. Some advice on that. Okay, so low motivation and low productivity will come obviously from low vibration. Then if you are in a low vibration, you will not really be productive. You will not feel like doing anything. You're just going to feel like doing nothing, and just, you're going to be in a bad mood, basically. So the answer is working on your vibration. I know it's not maybe what you want to hear, but working on yourself and really kind of you just really have to find something you will want to be productive at, something that will motivate you, something that will give you that will to live, that will to, fight to stay there, even though something bad has happened to you, like a breakup, and you are not feeling your best at the moment. So if it's just gonna be your usual chores, that can also be good, because just it's very important to continue doing your usual chores, because people, when they're depressed, when they're feeling low, they will feel like doing nothing, just staying in bed and lying and doing nothing, and that is absolutely bad. And any kind of activity will actually kind of make you feel better. So make sure to clean your apartment or your house regularly, and this can be fun. You can listen to music, you can just you know put your mind into that cleaning. It's really healthy if you do it in a proper way, if you're not overthinking about your ex while you're cleaning and not feeling like, oh no, this is such a horrible chore. Or whatever, it can be whatever. You can work out, you can do something that will really kind of lift you, and then absolutely focus with some passion on the things you need to be productive at, whether it's your work or whatever it is. Try to find an interesting aspect to it, try to really put your energy into it, try to make it interesting, and don't just do it just like that, just like, oh, I gotta do this, it's a task, because then it's not gonna work, it's not gonna be done properly, and it will just not be good for your mental health. So working on your vibration definitely will increase that as well, and you're gonna feel more motivated and more productive in general. So make sure to work on yourself. And we are all different, remember that. And we have different brains. So we have different interests, and different things will work for us. So just think about, what do you enjoy? What have you enjoyed before you felt like this? Give it some thought and find out what it was. Did you enjoy hanging out with your friends? Did you enjoy a certain hobby? And remember, with vibrational work, guys, it's very important to be patient. It's very important to understand that it's a process. Spell work, vibrational work, all of these energy workings, they are a process, just like anything else in life. So it takes some time. And for example, self-love, this is a very important thing that a lot of us need to learn. And the reason why, I'm going to explain this a bit while I still have time. So self-love, when we are kids, our parents are supposed to teach us how to love ourselves. So their mission is not to simply love us, but also to teach us how to love ourselves, how to be kind to ourselves. And I think that at this day and age, like, parents are way better at it because all of these things are discussed more often. In the past, they weren't a thing at all, and everybody was doing just the best they could. It's also going to depend, like, when you were born, where you were born, in which culture, what religion, a bunch of stuff. Obviously, will kind of create your mindset and all of it. But if we haven't been taught self-love when we were kids, then the thing is that it's not true that we can't love ourselves. We can, but we don't know how, because we were not given the tools how to do it when we were kids. So we need to learn as adults. And as you know, learning takes some time. So for example, if I wanted to learn how to, I don't know, how to sew, for example, I could not sew a wedding dress in 4 days. Like, if I started learning today and then in 4 days I could not make a wedding dress, I could make something simple. And I would probably make some mistakes while sewing for the first couple of times, and it would be like, oh, let me start again because this is not right. So it's the same with learning anything else. With learning how to love yourself, same thing. So you gotta give yourself some time, and you gotta learn how to do it, because you were not taught how to love yourself when you were kids, when you were supposed to be learned, when you were supposed to learn that. And that is not your fault. And it's not your parents' fault either, because, they just did the best they could in their circumstances, in their era, in their culture, in their religion, whatever, right? So this is something you're going to have to learn by yourself as an adult, and it's never too late, and everybody can do it. The thing is that we don't know how. So this is why we really need to focus on ourselves, on everything about us. Just follow the advice you can find on this channel. There's a lot of audios on that topic, shadow work, self-love, a lot of things will address that. And give yourself some time and be patient, because you're not going to start loving yourself after a week. It takes time. Anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful, and I wish you a beautiful rest of the week. I love you. Bye.